Real quick before we get into the video today, if you guys missed it, we got a new podcast out on our podcast channel, Word on the Streets. While we were down in New Orleans, we had the pleasure of meeting and talking with Bobby Ducote. We had an awesome podcast with him. It's pretty hilarious. You guys definitely got to go check it out. We would appreciate it, and we hope you guys enjoy the video. He got baptized by a streetcar. Funny calls or anybody ordering an old man's garage cam or a...
No, I've been getting a lot of calls about the pad.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody said, "Hey, I saw the boys run down there at the pad. What's in that Falcon now?" I said, "It's the same." I said, "It's the same thing." I said, "Just better."
Yeah, just fresh.
Just fresh and new. He goes, this one guy said, "Man, it was a baptism they put on old Peter Brown, wasn't it?" I said, "Yes, it was." I mean, that was something. I mean, old Tony, he would have had that deal hadn't he got loose.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. he was out of car on that guy.
Yeah. That guy, he's just a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
He just needs to make more hits in the car. They used to test the mayor like 3 or 4 times a week.
I know.
Every time he comes out here, he's right into first round. There's no testing.
Right.
Like, we never have time.
Right.
The car left better.
Looks like y'all had a good time down there.
Oh, yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah. I watched your dad's video. I haven't watched your video yet because I got to commit 2 hours to it.
Yeah. It's a big commitment.
That's what I'm saying. I'll do that. I've got time allotted for it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Looks good. I mean, your dad's is good. I can't wait to see yours because I know yours is more in depth and involved. And
our video is doing really well. Our video is doing really well. I'm happy.
That's good. That's really, really good.
Especially for that long of a video.
Yeah, but that's, and you know, I was looking at comments beforehand. When y'all guys gonna have a video? When
win. They're so impatient.
Yeah, I know. It's win.
I get it. You know, we hadn't posted in like 10 days.
I understand.
And people are like fiending for a video.
Right, I understand.
But at the same time, for us to do a good job at it and to make a video that's that long, it takes time.
Well, you look, I mean, and you look at the videos that came out right then from and it looks like thrown together crap.
Yeah.
And
it's all the same.
That's why they're all the same. They're all exactly the same. Because they're all standing in the same exact spot. All of them. Everybody who's shooting is standing exactly the same spot, so they all look exactly the same. Your stuff.
We got to go out of our way to make our videos
You go
unique.
out of your way to make your videos good, and that's the whole thing about it. Like this, 2 hours long is a movie, but it's got all the shenanigans in it also.
Right.
Besides that stuff, and that's what people are interested in.
Yeah, everybody's going to get to see the racing.
Yes.
Everybody's going to post that, but what people don't see is the getting there and what it takes to get there and all that.
Right, and that's the whole thing about it is what,
and because
you're involved, because you guys are involved in it, you get to see all the stuff that went on beforehand, all the stuff that went on there, and then all the stuff.
And the in-car videos and like everything else.
Sure, and that's what makes it. Because there's no in-car videos from anybody else.
I can't wait to see the in-car in that Falcon.
I can't wait to see it.
You know, I know what Bobby went. I had him next round. We would have been close, but we were getting faster every pass. Right. And the first 2 passes, I had an issue that I didn't realize. I had a blow-off valve that was unhooked, so it was only making like 17 pounds of boost.
Holy cow.
So...
When you ran beer bomb, it only had 17 pounds of boost?
No, I had hooked it up that round.
Okay, good.
So, but all the rounds before that, I didn't really have any good data to go off of.
Right. So
it was kind of a shot in the dark when I raced him, to an extent.
I have watched part of the Bobby Ducote on the streets.
Yeah.
We're on the streets.
He's a funny guy.
Funniest.
He says some wild stuff. There's no filter.
Seriously, yeah.
That's why whenever you watch the show,
no filter.
It's bleep, bleep, bleep. Like,
no filter. He came in here during No Prep King.
Yeah.
And I talked to him for a little while. Yeah, I'd like to hang out with him.
Oh, yeah. He's a riot. So there they are. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, they come out beautiful. Carbon's nice.
That's crazy.
Look at the runs back here with the fake rust.
You're super talented.
I try. Optic Armor, and I don't know if you're real familiar with Optic.
Yeah.
But Optic is like the best stuff on the market right now
For sure.
as far as like leg sand goes. Barely anything will stick to it. Dirt, glare resistant, scratch resistant. Really,
I had some nasty ass windows in them before.
yeah, they're right here.
They're
Somewhere.
terrible.
I don't know, they're somewhere, but yeah, they're. Oh, here they go.
Yeah.
Let's compare.
Yeah.
It's almost the same.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same. Yeah. So everything come out good. Everything's countersunk. All stainless. I mean, you can black them out if you want. I do use stainless, that way they don't rust or do anything weird.
That's awesome.
Lock nuts on the back sides of them. I try to go off pictures on the driver's side, off the internet, to kind of get this, the wear on this one a little bit closer. This was kind of an afterthought. I came in and did a little more to it, but again, with the runs on the blue to match the factory stuff, and a couple little rust spots, little bubbles on the edges there. Yeah,
That's
a couple
incredible.
little bad spots there. The good thing is you can't hurt it. So
Right.
this is all clear coated. Even this has been clear coated with matte clear. Yeah, man.
You weren't
Good to
shitting,
go.
man. They're gonna look
I told
exactly
you,
the
I
same.
tried, man. I tried to get it as close as I could. It's not, I mean, it's not perfect, but at the end of the day, from a distance and on film, it's going to definitely look like, you know, like it's supposed to look.
That's about as good as it's gonna get, man, for what you're working with. Like with the way the old doors looked, I don't see how it could get much better.
Pretty cool, though. There's the old one. So, it's kind of close.
That's yeah. I mean, I can't tell
Pretty
much.
cool.
I can't tell a
Pretty cool.
difference. I can't tell a difference.
I think it's awesome. When we get the fender done, man, with the fenders done, it's going to look good.
Fenders.
Like when you
I
got
think I
the
want to do
truck.
the hood white too.
Yeah. So I was looking at like our old cash days when we did it on the west side during the day, the picture.
Yep.
And I was like, man, we're going to get it to look just like that again. You know, that'll be cool.
It's like a throwback.
It is. Sweet.
It's awesome.
Pretty. Dude, it's amazing on cleaning it off with that acetone how much better it makes it weld.
Yeah, clean is definitely better. I can tell like there's no pop in it. The weld is just pure. So as you guys can see, we got our intake back from 417 Motorsports. So got it done pretty fast. I'm really happy with the conversion they did on it. Everything fits really nice. It's got billet rails. It's got the billet stands. And the welds on the intake look really nice. Way nicer than what's on the Nova actually. So this truck's not gonna know how to act. Look at this. Everything like fits super nice. When we went to put the injectors in the rails and then line everything up with the bungs on the intake, it was just crazy how good everything fit. As you can see, it's got the billet stands. They just bolt up there on the ends. Also got our Wilson elbow in. We can start on the cold side as soon as we get done the hot side. We're finishing that up today, hopefully. Had to move the turbo over here a little bit because this V-band was hitting that bar. So we had to move that over. When we did that, we had to make a little pie cut here. So Robbie tacked that with the MIG. I'm gonna go over that with the TIG welder. I usually let him tack it, and then I grind the MIG welds off later and re-weld it with the TIG welder. So
we got that going on. We got to put the wastegates on. Robbie's working on the first little wastegate mount right now. Try to get that tight and weld that on while we're here doing the hot side. Wanted to keep things simple, you know, as simple as possible. Also got our alternator down here. Robbie mounted that the other day. Little turnbuckle down there to adjust it. Simple stuff, but you know, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It's out of the way. It's gonna work fine. Got our crank trigger put on there, kind of mounted up. For some reason, it was a lot easier to put the crank trigger on this thing than it was on the Nova. We had to do a lot of modifications to the Nova to get it to work for some reason, but this one's coming together pretty easy. All right, so we got the hot side done. All the thing we have left to do is to plumb this into the exhaust. Yeah, it came out pretty good.
The welds look really good.
Thank you. I'm happy with it. You know, I thought about trying to put them on the bend, but with these big 60mm wastegates, with them having a lot of priority, it takes a lot of dome pressure to keep them shut. That's not something that I like when I'm tuning a car. I don't like to have to put 2 or 3 to 1 dome pressure just to hold a gate closed, because then it makes it really hard for me to figure out how much dome pressure I need to make what boost. I'd really like it to be 1 to 1, just like the Falcon is. And it makes it a lot more simple for me tuning. So yeah, that's why those are like that.
You got those hella close to that bar. That's snug.
Yeah, everything's tight. When you weld stuff, like you think you have a 1/2 inch of room, and then all of a sudden you weld it and it draws it close one area. It's just part of it. You know, and we're still getting better, and we're working on our craft.
I think those
day.
are your best welds you've ever done, honestly.
They're not bad, not bad. You know, the better the fit, the better the finish. We're still working on, you know, trying to get our fitment as good as possible. You know, we're working on getting new tools every day. I'm hopefully gonna get a better bandsaw here soon. I'd like to get a vertical horizontal bandsaw that's a lot bigger than that one. That one's pretty much useless now. Yeah, we're pretty much gonna work on the cold side tomorrow since the hot side's done and everything's in place, everything fits good. We had to move this turbo over a little bit because the exhaust was too close to this bar. I think I talked about that yesterday in the video, but in case you missed it. Had to move that over, so then we had to put a pie cut in here. Ended up not just being a straight piece. So now that that's all done, we can work on the cold side tomorrow. I ordered 3.5 inch O-ring V-bands from Race Parts Solutions. Those came in today, so be able to do the cold side with those. We've got a V-band throttle body from Wilson, and I like the V-band on this. I don't really like the dual seals up here. I kind of like the way the Falcon is with the V-band. Even though the dual seals look better, I just feel like this is more rigid. We've got this elbow. This is actually something that you ordered for your truck, but since my elbow hasn't come in from Wilson yet, we've got it mixed matched. So this is gonna be black when mine comes in. They've just been running a little bit behind.
It's like a Stegosaurus.
It does look like a Stegosaurus.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, I kind of like it. That's what I mentioned to Rob. It looks like a dinosaur. But I got basically a water pump crossover deal. It's not a water pump, but it's a crossover for the coolant passages. I'm gonna get that from Jegs tomorrow. Hopefully it's in stock, and then we can mount the radiator in the back and put the water pump back there. I've got all the fittings to weld onto the radiator. I've got the radiator here. I need to make some brackets to mount it. Shouldn't be too hard. All the wiring is run back there to the water pump already. Yep. The fans.
Did you guys figure out where to mount the coil packs?
I don't think we've decided yet on this side.
I know we were talking about that in the last video, but I just seen there's all kinds of different.
This one's probably
wiring
going to be
going on.
here because there's room for it. Just over there, since we decided not to put the master cylinder inside, it kind of took away our spot where we were going to put it over there. But we're thinking about maybe doing a roll bar mount on that side.
Yeah, we might just mount it off this roll bar. This bar going down the frame. As long as it's not too close to the header, or too close to the tire, I think it'll be fine. If we have to, we'll wrap the headers a little bit with some heat wrap to try to keep some heat off the coils. But I don't think it'll be too big of a deal.
Chevy, get out of the trash.
So we're moving right along. Hopefully it'll be running here in the next week or so. We're gonna pull the motor back out one last time once we get all the fab done, and we gotta put the flex plate on, and I can't remember. I don't think we changed the pan gasket yet. So we got to put a pan gasket on it because it was leaking a little bit at Bob's. I think we just got a cheap pan gasket on there, and I wanted to put a Felpro on it. So I want to make sure everything's sealed up good and don't have to have any leaks when we go to run this thing. I want it to be, I want to worry about tuning and not leaks when it's running. Gotta get another diaper. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what this thing's gonna do. I think it's gonna work really good on the street. You have anything you want to add?
It looks awesome, man. I mean, it's like just crazy to see how far this thing's come in such a little time. I mean, it's only January, and this is your winter, project. And I mean, I'm sure you'll be starting it up here in the next at least week and a half, 2 weeks.
It should be running by February.
Yeah. I'm just glad that everyone.
Once we get the cold side done and get the fuel system plumbed and everything, we could start it.
I'm just glad you took the time this off season to make everything safer. I think that was the most important thing. Like, yeah, it's gonna work a lot better and it's gonna be fast, and you're gonna have data logging, but
it's needed these bars that go down to the frame for a long time because it used to twist the front frame rail so bad.
Yeah.
You could see it in videos. The front bumper would come up, and then you'd see less of the 400 emblem on the freaking front end.
A straight car is a fast car.
Well, not only that, but like when this frame rail is up and this one's down, it's going to apply more pressure to the one rear tire than the other.
Yeah.
And then the anti-roll bar is doing more work and everything else. So I think this will strengthen the chassis a lot more, and it should go even straighter. Like, it always went fairly straight, but it would move around a little bit. I think now it's going to go really straight. The dash bar is going to help too, being tied in there.
I think you're going to be way more comfortable in this thing when it's all done. Like, it's just going to feel like an actual safe race car. And
it was really heavy before, and it was hard to steer. And not that I had trouble steering it, it's just somebody else jumped in it, they'd probably be like, what in the hell is this? Like, I just got used to it.
I think this thing is going to be way more enjoyable for you race now too, and work on.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping that this engine is very reliable. There's no reason it shouldn't be. It's got really good parts. Trick Flow really hooked it up on the heads and the intake and everything. And Isky with the cam. It's gonna sound really, really good. I can't wait to hear it up on 8,600 RPM with 30 pounds of boost.
It's never gonna sound the same again.
And it's gonna look a lot different because it's got the nice fiberglass doors. It's gonna have fenders that match the doors for the first time in 7 years. I should have never painted the fenders to begin with.
You've been through multiple engines, and you've changed your exhaust setup a few times, but the truck most of the time sounds pretty close to the same every time we make a change like that. But this time we have no idea what it's going to sound like, and it's never going to sound like what it used to sound like.
I'm really excited to be able to do like a boost builder table and make it pop and bang like I want it to, like I did with the Nova. With the carburetor, I could never really get it to pop and bang and build a bunch of boost on the trans brake. But with this thing, I'm gonna need to build more boost on the brake because it's not gonna make a lot of torque. And if I go to a front side, I'm probably gonna have to leave on 11 or 12 pounds of boost to make up for not having that 3.75 stroke. So now it's a 3.48 stroke, and I gotta get the RPMs up and the boost up to leave on a front side now. So
that's what the Nova's for anyways.
Well, I mean, you never know. The Nova could go down, and then all of a sudden, there's no reason this thing can't run front side. It should be able to make almost 2,000 horsepower, if not 2,000. So, I mean, the turbos are capable, the engine's capable, injectors are capable, the rods are capable. It's all good shit. Yeah,
a lot of people
have been asking about the Nova. I haven't heard from Bob in a little while. I'm sure he's busy working on, some of his other customers' stuff and getting caught up on that. I don't like to pester him too much, because I know he's got a lot going on. After this next week or so, I'll probably ask him to start working on the big block again if he can.
Greasy got that truck moved out of my shop, so that means as soon as he clears the rest of the space in there, I can put the Falcon at my house and we can get the Nova in here before it starts snowing again.
I'd really like to get the Nova going again. It was so nice just having 2,000 plus horsepower on tap.
It was like having the Hulk.
Yeah, I never even got it on more than like 25 pounds of boost.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm excited for it to be back. Obviously the Falcon's tip-top shape going into the season. It's running better than it ever has, thanks to Mike Lau.
Kind of needs a bath. Might drive to the car wash tomorrow.
I love that car. It's so fun to drive. It's like you let go of the button and I mean the car just raises up and it's just pulling so hard and everything is just effortlessly smooth. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, how do you feel
about,
about, you know, now that we're home from New Orleans, like now that you've thought about everything?
I'm really happy that we went and that I'm happy that we skipped Mega Cash Days to get that thing refreshed, because if we didn't and we tried to go to Mega Cash Days with it, we might have blown it up there trying to win, and I know that we wouldn't have had enough time to make it to Mega Cash Days or to make it to the pad if we had went to Mega Cash Days. So I'm glad we skipped out on that and just refreshed the car. I'm happy with the way we did down there, and honestly sometimes I'm pretty hard on myself. Like I feel like sometimes I don't deserve to win, but I do. Like I don't put in as much work as some people do. Like there's people out there that work really, really, really hard. Like for example, like Nick and Maddie, they work extremely hard, but I can't remember the last time they won. You know what I mean? It takes more than just working hard. You know, there's a lot involved in winning. And I think if we work even harder, like if we work as hard as Nick and Maddie do, but have the skills and the tuning and the data that we do, I think we'd be unstoppable, you know, and that's my goal. I want to work a little bit harder this year and just put everybody on notice.
I think they got a pretty good notice at the pad. You know, I mean, yes, I mean, did you beat Peter? Yeah, but
like, don't get me wrong, we work hard and we work late hours and stuff, but we could do better. This car's just got so much data and we've had so many laps on it that we pretty much know what it's going to do. It did surprise me down there that it made more power, like a lot more power with the fresh motor, but it was just like having 30-pound horsepower on 25. So I just had to kind of recalculate it in my head what kind of power it was making, but I'm happy with the way everything's going. And I'm excited for this season for sure. I'm excited to hit some of these new races that I've never been to. I think there's a race coming up in Delaware that I want to go to. Dave Pearson's putting on. They came out and raced with us like 3 or 4 years ago on the street. And I owe it to them to come back to their race. And they put on a good program. So I'm excited to go there March 4th. It's a track in Delaware. I'd have to pull up a link to it, but I'm excited to go to that. And then I want to go to Jimmy Dale's race at the Gut. You know, I've been hearing good things about the Gut for a long time. It's a blast. You know, it's a sketchy track for sure. You got to watch your back, but it's also a really good time. And the atmosphere there is second to none from what I've seen. I'm excited to go to the Gut, Yellow Belly as they call it. We've got a lot of good racing coming up for sure. Hopefully we can get this thing done. That way we're ready for February or March and the season gets back going full swing.
What do you think, Scrap?
Scrap says, I'm ready to get this freaking S-10 done. That way I can take rides in it again.
She don't really like going on rides in loud cars.
No. June is actually better with rides than she is, but...
Not even in the Falcon. And the Falcon's quiet. She will never ride with me.
Yeah. The Falcon chirps like a bird.
She likes riding in my green truck, though. On the bench seat.
Yeah. She don't like to go fast. She likes to go slow.
Yeah.
Slow. So, we're gonna wrap this video up, guys. We're gonna be working on the truck tomorrow, and the day after that, the day after that. And then we got a interesting plant tour coming Friday. So we're going to BTR, and we'll be there doing a plant tour, meeting them guys and seeing what they're all about. So excited for that. We'll probably film that for our channel and bring you some content there, see what they got going on. That's gonna do it for this one. See you next time, guys.